This is the Solo Coach podcast, where it's all about everything you need to build your business solo. Look, building a business alone can feel almost impossible. There's just so much to get done. That's just your doubt talking. I'm Michelle Sarah, and I'm here to talk you through building a one-woman coaching business from the ground up. I'm talking marketing, time-saving systems, AI shortcuts, client attraction, energy, and belief, all to help you find your way, no matter your age, stage, or starting point. Ready? Let's get going. Half-finished offer ideas and zero progress. Why your offer ideas never make it out there and how to fix it. I don't know about you, but there was a time when I felt like the queen of half-finished projects. I would have a bajillion brilliant ideas for offers that started with a burst of inspiration, followed by a ton of excitement, and then nothing. They would be half done, half baked, whatever. It was like someone stuck a pin in my bright, colorful balloon, and then it was gone. And the problem with that is you end up with all of those half-done ideas for offers just piled up. Felt like they were literally mocking me, reminding me of all the energy and time I wasted before giving up. It's like they've formed their own little graveyard of good intentions. Can you relate? Well, if there's one thing I know for sure now, it's that it doesn't mean you're lazy or unmotivated or even that you don't have great ideas, because trust me, I am sure that you do. In fact, you're probably overflowing with incredible ideas, and it's that you're trying to do too much at once. The problem is that you're setting the bar so high with your ultimate offer, the ultimate idea, the newest, greatest idea, that it becomes this monstrous, complicated thing that you can't finish. You may not have the clarity you need to fully complete it yet. And so overwhelm sets in, right? Like, I'm sure you know this cycle. If you're someone who is filled with one idea after another, and I'm talking about like you wake up with ideas in the morning and you go to sleep thinking about ideas, and you're constantly writing down a short note on your phone or on your laptop or wherever. It could be a napkin, right? Like you have a ton of ideas. And they all warrant your attention, because when you have a ton of ideas, you're tapping into your creative center. And I'll bet you that many of these ideas are coming from a much higher level of inspiration. It's coming through us, right? It's coming through each of us. And the trouble with that is, as I said, that we can't possibly pay attention to all of them at one time. And we end up taking an idea because of that high energy we feel from it, and we put this very high expectation on ourselves to see it through to full creation. The problem that we run into is we don't always have the clarity needed in order to do that. But it doesn't mean that we can't create the idea. It just means that we need the clarity in order to complete it. So when you don't have the clarity to fully complete an idea, like for a new offer for your community, it starts to become overwhelming. You can't move forward with it. You can't make a decision at a certain point in the offer creation, and it doesn't feel right anymore. Something is off, and you're feeling more frustration around it rather than that incredible inspiration and excitement that you felt at the beginning. Does that sound familiar? I mean, really, like I still do this from time to time, but I recognize it when it happens now. So you then start to feel burned out and defeated. And let's be honest, kind of annoyed at yourself, or that could just be me. But hey, it's a thing. But the really good thing is the sun is always shining somewhere. And there's a way to break out of this cycle of offer creation burnout and actually get your offers out there. And no, it doesn't involve working harder or forcing yourself to be more disciplined because seriously, who wants that really? I mean, I know we think that, and that's that repetitive inner critic that says you just need to be more disciplined, but that's not really what we want. Instead, it's about starting small, breaking down complexity, and aligning with your energy so that you can create offers, get them out there, and get clients. The bonus? Your clients will love you for helping them experience quick wins and not go down the same path as you. Overwhelm, giving up, and feeling guilty because of it. Can you see that pattern and how it trickles down, can trickle down? Ready to finally see progress? Well, here's how. Let's get into it. So, number one, start small to validate quickly. All right. So, let's get one thing straight. You're being way too hard on yourself. You're probably trying to create the ultimate, fully fleshed out, perfect offer from day one. You want to wow your audience, change their lives, and maybe even get a few wonderful testimonials, right? I mean, that's the ideal thing. But that's also the problem. It's too big, too complicated, and too overwhelming. So what happens? You end up brain dumping, losing your dopamine rush, and wondering where to go from here, and then walking away feeling so defeated. The solution? Start with a micro solution. And by micro, I mean tiny. Solve just one specific problem, not 5 problems, not a whole life transformation, just one tiny piece. For example, if you're a life coach, don't try to build a 12-week course on living your best life or finding your life purpose right out of the gate. I mean, I'm already exhausted just thinking about it. Instead, start with something much smaller because here's the thing, even if you have a framework, maybe you have a framework through the certification that you went through to become a life coach, right? And that's absolutely wonderful. It can certainly serve as a starting point, but you don't know for certain that your audience is going to be aligned with that, or that for that matter, it's what they want and need. Maybe you have a really unique element to your audience, right? So start smaller. And as I said, if instead of trying to build out that big, huge course, start with one tiny or micro problem that you know you can solve right now. You'll feel the difference as you think about it. Feel the difference of that, creating that solution versus creating the full big program. How does it feel? I'm hoping and I expect that it feels a whole lot better. You'll feel the difference, not to mention you'll be able to get it done and out there and still have time for coffee with friends. Number 2, create offers that align with your energy. You know that feeling when you sit down to work on your offer and immediately feel like taking a nap? Yeah, I've been there. That's your energy yelling at you, or more accurately, leaving you. If your energy is low, heavy, or just plain blah, it's because you're trying to create in a way that doesn't align with who you are or how you like to work for that matter. If it feels hard, heavy, or complicated, you're doing it wrong. Your offer creation process should feel light and fun and exciting and like you're in your element. It should flow naturally. If that sounds impossible, stick with me for a second. Because even if in that moment, like everything is feeling great and you're moving along and you get to a point where it's not flowing, all you need to do is step away for just a little bit, right? Go reclaim some of your energy. For example, if writing feels like pulling teeth, and I'm talking about how you go about creating your offer. If writing feels like pulling teeth, don't write. Record a video or host a live session or create a worksheet or a visual. That's one of my favorite things in the world. I am a very visual person, and although the caveat to that is that I don't have like graphic design talent at all, but one of the most relaxing things for me to do is go design something visually. So whether I need a product image or a new sales page, right? One of the things that I love to do to just take a break from stuff is to go and create some of that imagery. It's relaxing to me. Whatever it is for you, do whatever feels easiest and most fun. And if being on camera makes you feel like a deer in the headlights, or if it's very draining, then don't do a video. Write instead, or record audio, or create a checklist, or whatever floats your boat. The point is doing something in that energy of fun and enjoyment and excitement. Here are some tips. Pay attention to your energy, as I said. When you do feel really creative and inspired, that's the time to work on your offer. When you feel drained or stuck, just step away for a little bit. Sometimes it just takes a very small amount of a break to gain some more inspiration and clarity, and you can go right back at it. Choose content formats that feel easy and fun. Lean into your strengths. Stop trying to force yourself into a box that doesn't fit. If you hate long form writing, don't write a 50-page ebook. If you love talking, do a mini podcast or audio series, like a private podcast series. The key is to design your offer creation process to match your natural energy. When it feels fun, you'll actually want to do it. And when you want to do it, you will finish it as long as you have the clarity you need to get it done. Recognize when you hit a wall. And this is usually when you start feeling frustration, you start feeling tired. And instead of pushing yourself forward to the point where you abandon the offer idea altogether, pause, identify what you need in order to get it done. Like, speak out loud unless there's people around that you don't want listening to that. What am I frustrated about? What do I not have clarity on? What doesn't feel right? And then step away for a bit, and plan to do what you need to do to get that clarity. Break down the complexity. Half-finished projects like offer ideas are almost always the result of one thing: overwhelm. And nothing creates overwhelm faster than complexity. If your offer feels like a massive, complicated mountain, it's no wonder you're avoiding it like it's a source of pain, because it is. You're trying to do too much, too fast. And side note here, chances are it might feel like too much for your people too. It may feel too complex and overwhelming for them as well, and we don't want that. The trick is to break it down into tiny bite-sized tasks that feel doable. For example, instead of writing create workshop on your to-do list, which is vague and can be basically meaningless, break it down into micro tasks like outline the workshop flow, write the intro, create the first slide, record the welcome video. By breaking it down this way, you make the process manageable. You're no longer staring at a massive project, you're just checking off tiny tasks one by one. Write down every tiny step needed to create your offer, no matter how small. Put them in order from start to finish and focus on just one tiny task at a time, nothing else. When you break down the complexity, you eliminate the overwhelm, which means you're way more likely to finish what you start. It's time to get out of your own way. That was, we hear that phrase a lot, I know. But I distinctly remember my own like aha moment when I realized what I was doing to get in my own way, which was things like overcomplicating, trying to create too much. And that was, while I never consider myself a perfectionist, I realized that trying to create too much was maybe one small way that I got caught up in perfectionism, right? It's got to have everything for them. It's got to touch every point. It's got to be enough. It's got to be valuable. Do you know what's valuable? Succeeding at something. Starting and finishing and feeling incredible because you did it. Having an aha moment. Having a moment where two dots in your thinking connect. Having a realization. Understanding something in a different way. Fixing a small problem like how to get over that 2:30 p.m. energy slump in your day. Like one little small thing I can do, and suddenly I'm not having that energy slump anymore. Those kinds of things are transformational. Look, half-finished offer ideas and zero progress aren't about laziness or lack of discipline. Like I said, it's usually the complete opposite. It's about setting the bar too high, trying to do too much, getting stuck in perfectionism or some form of it because it has many, many disguises. The answer isn't to work harder or force yourself to power through because we both know how that usually ends. The answer is to start small, align with your energy, and break down the complexity. Those three things. If that's all you walk away with from this, that's what I want you to remember. Start small, align with your energy, and break down the complexity. So you can create easily and actually finish what you start. It's time to stop overwhelming yourself with gigantic, complicated offers and start creating tiny, doable micro solutions that actually get finished and, drumroll, sold. Your ideas are amazing. I am certain. So it's time to get them out there. And it's time to get clients. No more half-finished projects, no more burnout, just progress. Because done is always better than perfect. Hey, thanks so much for joining me for the Solo Coach podcast. It means so much to me that someone out there is listening. Now, if you know it's time to do something different about your business, and you know if it is, consider joining me for my Happy and Successful Business Mastermind, where you can get clarity, support, and a plan. I'll leave details in the notes below. I also want to share a free resource for you. If you haven't already subscribed to my newsletter, Find Coaching Clients, I encourage you to do so. I'll deliver to your inbox tips and strategies that make finding coaching clients for your business much easier. I'll see you next time.